July 25, 1943. You do not wake up on a summer night in wartime Italy and discover that your dictator has vanished. Everyone believed that rule. For more than 20 years, Italians lived under Mussolini's shadow. You did not question him. You did not oppose him. You did not imagine a world after him. He controlled the radios, the newspapers, the courts, the police, the streets, and the myth of his own permanence. His portrait stared down from every school hallway, every post office, every barracks wall. Generals believed he could not fall. The Allies believed it. The Germans believed it most of all. And on the front lines, exhausted, hungry, disillusioned, Italian soldiers believed it with the fatal certainty of gravity. Mussolini did not fall overnight. Dictators do not disappear between sunset and dawn. Countries do not turn upside down in a single broadcast. But in 1943, one man and one moment shattered that rule. And you, a 22-year-old Alpino named Giovanni Bertorelli, would feel the shock of that moment in a muddy foxhole, while wondering whether your country still existed at all. You grew up in the hills above Parma, a stone farmhouse, a father who carved wooden tools, a mother who prayed every night under a faded print of the Madonna. You joined the Alpini not for Mussolini, not for glory, but because you loved the mountains. You loved the cold air, the silence, the way a rifle sounded when the world around it held its breath. But war stole that silence. By summer 1943, you fought in the remnants of the shattered Alpine divisions pulled back from Russia. Barely 6,000 survivors from more than 57,000 men. Frostbite scarred your fingers. Hunger hollowed your cheeks. But you continued on because that was what an Alpino did. You endured. Italy could not. Bombers hammered Rome, Milan, and Turin. German allies tightened their grip. Factories failed, railways buckled. And across the front, Italian troops whispered a question they never dared speak aloud. How much longer?
Then, on July 25th, word reached the front that seemed impossible. Mussolini? Removed? You stared at the messenger as if he announced that the moon had fallen into the sea. Removed how? By whom? And what did that mean for you? A soldier with a rifle, a pack, and a war you never asked for. The answer would arrive faster than you could imagine. And now you face a moment that will overturn everything you believed about the war, your country, and yourself. It begins at dawn. You hear it before you understand it, the sound of boots in the mud, dozens of them, closing in on your ridge. You press your cheek against cold earth, grip your caccano tight, and peer over the lip of your foxhole. German helmets, German rifles, German voices. There are 40 of them. You count again, 42. You are part of a platoon of 23 Alpini. Something is wrong. Germans do not patrol this far south. Germans do not approach Italian lines without warning. Your sergeant, a wiry man named Conti, whispers, "They are not here as friends." The Germans stop 150 yards away, then 120, then 100. You feel your heartbeat against the stock of your rifle. At 80 yards, their commander steps forward, a major with ice in his voice. "All Italian units will surrender their arms immediately." Your sergeant stands. "We are allies." The major's reply cuts like wire. "Not anymore." You do not understand. How could you? You have no radio, no newspapers, just rumors that Mussolini fell and that Marshal Badoglio took power and that Italy may be preparing to negotiate with the Allies. The Germans do understand, and they act first. "Lay down your weapons," the major repeats, "or we will open fire."
Your sergeant looks at you. You look at him. Your hands tremble on the rifle. You do not lower it. He does not lower it. The Germans raise theirs. 60 yards. 50. 45. 40. You exhale through clenched teeth. Your sergeant whispers one word. Stand. Not surrender, not fight, just stand. The Germans halt at 30 yards. Then, behind them, an Italian staff car skids to a stop. Dust swirls. A colonel leaps out waving papers. A ceasefire order, signed by Badoglio himself. Italian units must avoid conflict with German forces. You blink, stunned. You feel the weight leave your shoulders. The Germans step back. Your sergeant lowers his rifle first. You follow. Your platoon breathes again. But relief dies as fast as it came, because the Germans are not leaving. They spread out. They take positions. They cut telephone lines. They block the road. They occupy command posts. They count every rifle in your unit. You realize what they are doing. They are disarming Italy. Not in weeks, not in days, right now. And you cannot stop it. By noon, German troops control every pass within 20 miles. By afternoon, they surround Italian depots. By evening, they seize entire regiments. Your platoon watches helplessly as German trucks haul away Italian machine guns, mortars, crates of ammunition, even field kitchens. Soldiers argue, officers protest. A few fire warning shots into the air. The Germans respond with tanks. Panzer IVs, 4 of them, rolling through the valley with engines growling like metal beasts, their guns sweeping left and right. Your sergeant curses under his breath. They do not trust us. They prepare for something. You ask him what? He answers with a question of his own. When was the last time a German force felt afraid? You do not know, but the Germans do. They fear Italy switching sides. They fear a southern front collapsing. They fear thousands of Italian soldiers, you among them, turning your rifles against them. So they disarm every Italian they can find. And as the sun sets, a new rumor reaches your ridge.
Churchill has spoken, and what he said will determine not only your fate, but the fate of Italy itself. But first comes the longest night of your life. Your platoon huddles in the dark as the Germans guard your perimeter. You hear their boots crunch on gravel. You hear the metallic click of safeties switching off. You hear whispered German orders, sharp, commanding, unforgiving. You think of home. You think of your mother's hands. You think of the wooden cross above her bed. Then, around midnight, a runner arrives breathless. Radio message from Allied broadcasts, Churchill's statement. It is everywhere. You brace yourself. What did the British Prime Minister say about Mussolini's fall? Did he welcome it? Mock it? Dismiss it? The runner unfolds a crumpled sheet. His voice cracks as he reads, "When I learned of the fall of Mussolini, I was overjoyed." Overjoyed. You stare into the darkness. Then he continues, "We must now strike harder and faster. The lion's roar may echo through Europe again." You feel something strange. Not fear, not relief. Something like clarity. Churchill believes Italy can break free. He believes Mussolini's fall is the first crack in the Axis. He believes men like you, tired, hungry, uncertain, may yet reclaim your country. But the Germans heard his words too, and they react with fury. At dawn, they move to disarm your battalion completely. They seize your command staff. They demand every rifle, every pistol, every cartridge. Refuse, your sergeant tells you quietly, and we die. He adds, obey, and our country dies. You swallow hard.
Then the Germans gave the final order. You will stack your rifles, now. Your platoon stands motionless. 23 Alpini, surrounded by more than 90 Germans. Tanks behind them, machine guns on the ridge. A mortar team setting up at 150 yards. Your sergeant's jaw tightens. You lift your rifle. Slowly, you hear metal clink. Rifles are hitting the ground. 1, 2, then more. But not yours. You hold yours upright. The barrel shakes, but it does not fall. The German major notices. He strides toward you. "Soldier," he barks, "surrender your weapon." Every eye turns to you. Your sergeant whispers, "Giovanni, you do not move. Not yet." You stare at the major. You stare at the tanks. You stare at the ridge where your country hangs in the balance. Then, slowly, you lower the rifle. You do not surrender it. You lay it on the ground as if placing a friend to rest. The major stares at you, calculating. Then he nods once. The rifle is not yours anymore, but your choice is. And in that moment, you understand Churchill's words in a way no one broadcasting from London ever could. The fall of a dictator is not the end of a story. It is only the beginning of a struggle. If you find this kind of forgotten history as fascinating as we do, we'd be honored if you subscribe. These stories of courage and sacrifice deserve to be remembered, and by subscribing, you help keep them alive. Churchill's reaction reaches every corner of Europe. German high command panics. Hitler rages. Army Group B receives orders to seize all Italian ports, rail junctions, and command centers. And suddenly you understand what the Germans prepared for. Operation Axe, a complete German takeover of Italy's military. Within days, the 1st German Parachute Division disarms the entire Alpini Corps. Panzer Grenadiers seize Rome's airports.
SS units storm naval bases. Thousands of Italian soldiers resist and die. Tens of thousands surrender. Hundreds of thousands scatter into the hills. What the Germans do not know is something far more important. Italy is negotiating its surrender. And Churchill's words, broadcast into every farmhouse, every barracks, every trench, accelerate the momentum. He praises the fall of Mussolini. He calls it the first crack in the Axis wall. He urges Italy to stand against Germany. He tells the world the Mediterranean may soon open again. And he is right. Within weeks, Italy signs an armistice. German troops turn from uneasy allies into outright occupiers. The Italian front becomes one of the bloodiest battlegrounds of the war, and men like you must choose: hide, join the partisans, or be taken prisoner. The true impact of Mussolini's fall and Churchill's reaction will not be understood until long after the war, because the fall of one man reshaped an entire continent. Private Giovanni Bertorelli never returned to his unit. He disappeared into the Apennines with other Alpini who refused to serve the German occupation. He fought as a partisan courier, carrying messages, ammunition, and hope through the mountain passes he loved. He was killed in an ambush
in March 1944. His mother received a letter from one of his comrades. It said only, "He walked into danger so others could walk into freedom." He was 23. Today, you remember him. You remember men like him. You remember the moment Mussolini fell, and the day Churchill's words signaled a turning point in the war. This story matters because it shows that history is not shaped only by leaders, speeches, or governments. It is shaped by the quiet decisions of ordinary soldiers in muddy foxholes, men who stand, hesitate, hope, surrender, fight, endure, and sometimes fall. If this story moved you, please like the video. It tells the algorithm this history matters. Subscribe if you want to help rescue these forgotten stories. Comment where you're watching from and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Private Giovanni Bertorelli and the men of the 3rd Alpine Division Giulia are not forgotten.